Let's see some of the accomplishments of the last few days. Okay, getting rid of bad guys, no doubt about it, and protecting the entire world from a nuclear Iran. That is what's been happening, and it's an intense war right now. It's an intense war. My family's feeling it intensely. All of Israel's feeling it intensely. All of pro-Israel people are feeling it intensely, and the Iranian people are also feeling it intensely. There's a lot of great Israelis who are stuck here right now. I'm not the only one. Another person who's stuck is Brigadier General in Reserves Amir Avivi. He's been on our show before. He's the founder and the chairman of the IDSF, the Bitchonistim, and this organization is the reserve officers who have a nationalist perspective, a strong Israel perspective, and he's in the country right now as well. Brigadier General Amir Avivi joins me. Shalom Aleichem. Nice to see you here.
Hi, Shai. Great to speak with you.
Brigadier General Avivi, things are different. This is a different day. I want to say honestly, I was one of the people asked me, is Netanyahu going to pull the trigger? Is he going to really strike at Iran? I'm like, I'm not sure he will. I'm not sure that he will. I know that he's been talking about it for 25 years, but he's been talking about it for 25 years. I'm not sure he's going to do it. And I'm happy to eat my hat today. I'm happy to say that I was wrong. I'm happy to say, I admit it, I was wrong. He did have the guts, and the Israeli Air Force is doing an amazing job. Please give me a sense of your perspective on this conflict.
So to give a bit of background, after we defeated Hezbollah, and I remind you, Yishai, that before we attacked in the north, there were experts saying we need to postpone the war 5 years at least. If not, all neighborhoods will be leveled down. There will be no electricity. Tens of thousands of Israelis will be killed. And we said all along, we can win decisively and in a very short time. And indeed, after we defeated Hezbollah, I had the chance to meet with the Minister of Defense, the former one, Gallant, and we said that we understand that the moment Iran lost all its strategic depths, all these proxies they built basically were destroyed. Iran has only one choice: to make a run towards nuclear weapons in order to secure the regime. So it was obvious that this is what's going to happen. And a decision was taken by the government, by the cabinet, headed by Netanyahu, to order the Mossad and the army to get ready until the end of April to launch a full-scale attack on this nuclear program and the missile program, because what the Iranians started doing, they moved towards producing 9 nuclear bombs, and also they built an industry in order to be able to produce 300 ballistic missiles a month, which in a very short time would have created 2 existential threats. One is the bombs, and the other one is 10,000 or even 20,000 ballistic missiles, which would have overwhelmed Israel and our air defense and really be able to destroy Israel. So Israel had no choice but to launch this attack. In the last 6-7 months, Israel developed capabilities that are beyond imagination, really bending the laws of physics and chemistry, the ingenuity of our scientists, of the military industries, of the intelligence, the Mossad, the army. They really developed a state-of-the-art plan backed up by state-of-the-art technology and ingenuity. And we see how Israel was able in 2 days, not even 6, like the 6-day war, 2 days, to basically to create the terms for winning decisively in Iran. Israel is dominating the Iranian airspace, and Israel at this stage can do whatever it wants, when it wants, how it wants, everywhere in Iran. So basically, every day now, that passes, Israel really is bringing the Iranian regime on its knees. We are determined to have a short campaign. Israel is not willing to have a reality of a long war, of a war of attrition. There will be no war of attrition, even if it means destroying completely the regime and the economy of Iran. So Israel is operating now in two different ways. One is really destroying all these nuclear sites and all the industries that are producing the ballistic missiles, and at the same time hunting all these ballistic missiles launchers. Every day that passes, we are destroying more and more launchers. We have destroyed more than a third of their launchers. So I guess in a week or two, there will be almost not able at all to shoot Israel, while Israel will have full freedom of operation everywhere in Iran to do whatever it wants to do. And this is where we are now.
Okay, I have a few questions that are just so burning right now. First thing is, how is Israel's? I'm stuck here in New York, and I see you're stuck as well. How is the home front? How is Israel's civilian population handling the situation? The center of the country has been targeted. We've seen giant missiles strike buildings, people killed. There's fear, there's tension, there's, as we say in Hebrew, lachatz. There's like internal tension. Tell me what you're sensing about the people of Israel in this conflict.
So before we launched the attack, we brought reserve units. They went into the areas where the Home Front Command was operating, and they took all the battalions of the Home Front Command to all the main cities of Israel to prepare for this scenario, a scenario of a massive shooting of ballistic missiles and drones on Israel. At the same time, we are cooperating very closely with the US and the coalition to minimize as much as possible the hits on Israel. We have a very good multi-layer anti-air batteries combined with US capabilities, with the SADs. And yes, unfortunately, with all the shooting, occasionally there is a ballistic missile that manages to penetrate, and it does, a lot of damage. But as long as people are in the safe areas, this minimizes casualties. I must say that looking at years of preparations, when we try to imagine what will happen in a war with Iran, we were thinking about thousands of missiles shot at Israel. This is not the reality because of the air defense, because of the way the IDF is attacking, toppling all the leadership of the military leadership of Iran, destroying the bases, the communications. We're attacking them in multiple ways that are really impacting and degrading the capability to respond and retaliate. And every day that will pass, things will get better. And anyway, we're talking about a short campaign. We are going to have a decisive win against Iran in a short period of time. It's not going to take months and months. It's going to be a fairly short campaign because already now they're starting to beg for a ceasefire. They understand that it's game over. And the big question, really the one big question is, are we going to put as a goal bringing down the regime? I mean, it's obvious that we can destroy the nuclear sites. It's obvious that we can, destroy this ballistic missile program, and we can destroy many military capabilities that they have. We destroyed most of the air defense. But what about the regime? I mean, if we stop now, even if we have a few years that deter, this regime is all about destroying Israel. This is the biggest goal they have. And they will probably return back to their activities, maybe after Trump's presidency, who knows? So it's a unique opportunity to really do a change that will impact for generations, maybe even have a change of regime and a regime that will want peace with Israel.
That's right. The Iranian people are known to be friendly towards Israel. The Iranian regime is not. Let's take a video of what Tel Aviv looked like just the other night.
Oh,
I mean, that video was just out of science fiction. It's just out of science fiction.
Like Star Wars.
Star Wars above your head, this beautiful city getting rocketed, and those are real people down there. It's just an incredible moment. And I was speaking with a man who's not a military man, but a very smart man, and he said to me, maybe it's been very lucky or smart or blessed that we first had to fight a war with Hamas, then kind of in the middle of that, we also fought a war with Hezbollah, and only now we're fighting with Iran, in the sense that if they had attacked us all at once, we would have been in a lot of trouble. Here we took care of one, took care of another, now taking care of the head of the snake, the head of the octopus. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, first, on the 7th of October, 4 hours into the 7th of October, was really this devastating day on a biblical level. I can tell you that 4 hours into this war, when I realized with the generals of IDSF that it's only Hamas attacking, and we managed to, bring our troops to the Lebanese border, and Hezbollah could not attack us by surprise anymore. And we saw that things in Judea and Samaria are pretty much stabilized, and Israeli Arabs are not doing anything, and Iran is not intervening. We knew already then, 4 hours into the beginning of the war, we are going to win decisively. They lost their chance. They had one chance, they blew it. They managed to do a devastating attack in the region of Gaza, but looking at the overall strategic situation, for us it was obvious that it will take us a day, 2, 3, we'll kill all of them on our side, we'll push them back to Gaza, and from that moment onwards, Israel will launch its attack. We knew that it will take time because we were not organized enough, not enough munitions, not enough forces, not enough equipment. So we needed time really to organize, and this is why we had to start first with Gaza, and only 10 months later really launch an attack against Hezbollah. But this time enabled us to build the capabilities and the readiness to do what we see now in Iran. And what we see, and we've said that all along, Israel has capabilities beyond imagination, really things that are amazing. And now we're seeing really what the people of Israel can do, the might of the Jewish people in the state of Israel.
And of course, the might of Hashem, God Almighty, who is protecting the Jewish people. Let's take a look at not Israelis celebrating, but Iranian people celebrating as they are hiding out in a driving tunnel. But this is how they're reacting. All right, what we're seeing in that video is, not everybody's going to do it. Not everybody in Iran is for regime change. Not everybody in Iran is willing to show emotions out loud. They're still scared. But there's already people who are hearing about the destruction of the Iranian regime and its various arms, including its media arms, and they're celebrating. So the Iranian people, there's a lot of them. I don't know what the percentage is, but there's a lot of them that want to see regime change. Do you think that Israel is going to, here's a double question. Do you think that, an international question, do you think that Israel is going to push for regime change? Is it going to encourage regime change? Or is it going to go like in a Gorbachev, perestroika type fashion, where it's like, okay, they'll learn their lesson and let them evolve out of that jihadism? And the other question is, what about the Americans? I'm hearing different things. On the one hand, the Americans are sending refueling airplanes, according to reports. On the other hand, Prime Minister Netanyahu making it clear that it's good for America that Israel takes care of this business, not involving the United States necessarily, not necessarily, bringing in China and Russia and all these players, just keeping it that we're pushing back against something that's endangering us. So those are two international questions. What do you think?
So you know that 50% of Iran are not Persians at all. You have 25% that are Azari, that are more connected to the Azari people, to Azerbaijan. you have Kurds, you have Arabs, and even among the Persians, there are many who are not supportive of this regime. It's not Gaza. In Gaza, I would say almost the vast majority, if not all of the Gazans, are completely aligned with Hamas. They're all Hamas. Iran is not like that. Iran, the vast majority of the society, they hate this regime, but they're afraid. And when Israel shows how weak they are a paper tiger. 2 days, and then they're all on their knees. This, I hope, will empower the Iranian society to really revolt against them. And I think this is definitely a start of a change, a beginning of a change. And we can really make sure that it will be a change if we eliminate the leadership. If we really eliminate this leadership, they have devoted their lives to the destruction of Israel, and it's time they go. It's time we deal with this.
And with regard to the Americans, what do you think?
So I think that, we see in America two different kinds of approaches. One says, we don't have to intervene, we don't have to endanger American soldiers. Let Israel do what Israel needs to do. But, we're helping with defense, with air defense, with refueling, with intelligence in many ways. And there are others that say, no, we need to fight with our allies. We need to be proactive and attack and be part of this campaign. And so far, the U.S. hasn't shown willingness to fight. And
what do we want? What does Israel want? You think? What do you think is the best for
Israel? Israel is fine with the U.S. backing us up, giving us, the intelligence, helping us with the defense, giving us munitions. Israel can manage. You see, Israel is doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think this question is not really about even Iran or Israel. It's a global question, because I'm thinking to myself, what are the Chinese thinking? I mean, if they hear the U.S. saying clearly that if the U.S. is not attacked directly, the U.S. should not intervene, okay? So I'm thinking, okay, so if the Chinese really understand that, why not invade Taiwan? This is not attacking U.S. directly. So what will stop China from invading Taiwan?
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's an interesting point.
What will stop Russia from continuing its aggression in Europe if the U.S. is saying, if we are not attacked directly, we won't intervene? So this kind of approach might destabilize the whole globe. This is the big danger. And I've said it even before the war, in the previous administration, and also now. You want to be a global power, you want to stabilize the world, you need to show that you are willing to use military force somewhere. And the best place to do it is against this paper tiger and really destroy this Iranian regime and all its capabilities.
Well, two things about that. Number one, you use this term paper tiger, and I understand what you're saying, certainly in terms of defense. I mean, but they were about to get a nuclear bomb, so let's not minimize.
They were very dangerous. They were very, very dangerous. But it was obvious, to me at least, that once we attack them, we'll be able to deal with them very, very fast. But if we would have waited 3-6 more years, it would have been a completely different reality. There would have been nuclear and with endless amount of ballistic missiles. So we really attacked at the last moment. We couldn't, wait anymore. They were on the verge, a week or two, of having, nuclear capabilities, and they wanted even to give these capabilities to the Houthis, which don't care about anything. They would have shot Israel with a nuclear weapon easily.
The other thing that I wanted to ask you about that is, your point is very interesting. You're saying that if America doesn't react, if it doesn't take part in global stabilization, the world becomes destabilized. Bad guys realize that America's not going to get into it if it doesn't touch them personally. That's like the extreme form of America first. Instead of America interest first, it's just whatever touches me. That's the only thing that I'm going to react to. I understand what you're saying. But on the other hand, isn't it good for Israel that it shows that it has independent capability, that it is the regional power, that it's willing to pull the trigger, it's willing to engage. It doesn't need Big Brother, it doesn't need that support. It's kind of like, for the America Firsters, it's a proof that America is a good ally. It's an ally that's not asking you to put boots in the ground. It's an ally that could take a real ally that can take care of itself and really be the power in our region without the assistance of the United States. So isn't there a positive side to it as well?
Yeah, no, of course there is a positive side, because the approach of this administration is Israel, you are not kids anymore, you have grown up, you need to be independent. We'll give you some assistance, but really you need to be able to do things by yourself. Today, you see the leading think tanks that are working with the administration talking about ending U.S. aid to Israel, and not because they don't want to help Israel, because they want Israel to be independent. So they're saying, we'll give you the money, but not as aid. Right. Let's do mutual projects. Let's build your economy. Let's do other things. But you are not a third world country. You are a regional power. You have to behave like a regional power. You have to act. You have to be independent as a regional power. And I think this is the right approach. And Israel needs to really grow its military industries. We have to be able to defend ourselves by ourselves at the maximum capacity we can. It's always good to have strong allies and work together. But Israel definitely needs to be independent. And the Jewish people as a nation, we built back our state to be able to defend ourselves by ourselves, not to be dependent on anybody.
Speaking of dependence, I think that this war or this attack on Iran is also worth a lot of money. There's a lot of Russian defenses in Iran that have not worked very well, and that's going to hurt their sales. But Israel is showing that it has technology that can outsmart the surface-to-air missiles and other things, drone technology, other technologies. I mean, this when you make a war like this, it's also it's a show. There's an element of it. It's all real, but it shows off what you're capable of doing, what you want to achieve, what you can achieve, and other people are like, whoa. So my double question to you here again is, one, what are you hearing from the Arab world or from the European or anybody that's interested or allied with us, like a Hungary, a Poland, and India? What are you hearing from those kind of quarters? Are they impressed? Are they like, what can we buy some of that? How can we learn some of that technology? I don't remember the second part. Are you hearing what is the global reaction that you're hearing right now to Israel's attack?
So, looking historically, you remember that the U.S., when Israel was created, all the way from 49 to 67, the U.S. was not really a good friend of Israel. There was a military embargo on Israel for a very, very long time. The first time we started having serious good relations with the U.S. was after the 67 war, after the 6-day war, when we became a regional power, when we show that we're relevant and strong. So the world likes winners. Everybody wants to connect with winners, and when Europe today is really, really scared of Russia, and they are really looking for top technologies and doctrines and know-how, they're looking at Israel, and especially in a reality where the U.S. is saying, maybe we leave NATO. We don't want to be part of it. We don't want to fight. So when the Europeans see what's happening now, that the fact that we're fighting by ourselves, okay, they want to be like Israel. And today, the Israeli military industry is signing huge, huge contracts with North Europe, with East Europe, with Germany. So I hear sometimes, when I interview on TV, people saying, there is a tsunami against Israel. Look at Britain, look at France and Spain. But they're not talking about all the other countries. We're not saying anything. Who are really working closely with Israel, buying Israeli capabilities and wanting to be very close to Israel. Everybody wants to be Israel. Everybody wants to be like us. And they need our partnership. They need our friendship. They need our know-how. And when we will win decisively, and we will win decisively this war, following that, not only there will be peace agreements with Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, and many other countries, and we'll build this Western Israeli Sunni alliance, but also the place of Israel among the nations and the international relations we'll have will be amazing, because everybody wants to side with the weak side.
That's right. Well, it all depends on the one most important thing, which is a strong Israel. A strong Israel. When Israel's strong, when it's not giving away its land, when it's not funding terrorists, when it's not looking the other way when enemies build up tunnels underneath our noses. Like when we're not doing the dumb stuff that we did on October 6th, shrinking ourselves, talking about peace all day long instead of destroying our enemies, allowing them to build up, allowing intelligence to kind of not really be looking the other way and not being serious about understanding the threats. When we do those things, we're weak. And Israel gets October 7th, and nobody wants to be friends with Israel, immediately after October 7th because you're weak. But now that we've come back after October 7th, after a year and a half, we're smashing our enemies, destroying Hamas, practically, destroyed Hezbollah, and now hitting the head of the octopus, showing that might, having that lion rise up. Then people are like, okay, this is the Israel that I can support. Do you agree with those statements?
This is how things work on the world stage. Nobody wants to side with weak nations.
Right.
People want to side with strong nations, militarily, economically, technologically, strong society, culture, and it all goes together. And Israel has all of it. Even during the war, our economy is one of the strongest economies in the world. Even during the war, imagine what will happen after the war. What economic boom Israel is going to have following the war. And the economy is even now very, very strong and very resilient.
That's right.
So we have a lot to look forward, but first, let's win this war.
That's right. We have a lot to win, and we still have to protect our civilians. And we've had 10 civilians killed through these attacks, so it's not without cost. It's a tremendous cost. It's important to know that it's important to not underestimate our enemy or take it for granted, or lay down our defenses. Quite the opposite. Our strength should be followed by more strength, and hit them again. Hit them until they're done. All right. Last question, Brigadier General Amir Avivi. You and I are here in the United States. I'm sure that you planned this trip, but I'm sure you're itching to get home. Right now, Israeli airspace is closed. There's constantly talk about rescue flights or boats from Cyprus or different ways. There are people, I just saw a video of people coming in from Sharm el-Sheikh, although that's not recommended. There's some people coming in through Jordan, although that's not recommended. What's your pathway to the Holy Land?
Yeah, so I arrived to the States a week ago on Sunday and had a very busy trip in Detroit and Toronto and back to New York. Spent the weekend, in Woodmere. I was supposed to fly Saturday night, and of course it got canceled. So, I took the opportunity to really go a lot to national TV. I interviewed here in the States, in Newsmax, in other stations, and having multiple meetings and lectures. So I'm very busy, but, waiting to go back home. I miss my kids and my wife. So I signed to, the list of El Al. They send some lists you sign to, and waiting to get a mail that says that, can board the plane and go back home.
B'ezrat Hashem, with the help of God, we'll get back home and we'll go to fight and to celebrate and to see a stronger Israel. Brigadier General Amir Avivi, your whole life is dedicated to making a stronger Israel through your organization, the IDSF, and we call it in Hebrew the Bitchonistim, which are officers in the IDF who are for a strong Israel and for nationalism and not for shrinking Israel and weakness. And you're getting that message out there. And certainly this attack is in line with the ideology that you're trying to spread. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Toda rabba, Brigadier General Amir Avivi. Awesome person to, and there's the website, idsf.org.il /en if you want it in English. And he's doing great work here. And he was on all kinds of media, but he didn't say that he was also on the Yishai Fleisher TV channel. Come on. Let's hear the clapping. Let's hear the applause, people. Come on. Okay, we are broadcasting live from beautiful New York. And it's important to say that this amazing attack on Iran is also the gift of God. He has given us the strength. Here, I'm going to now let you into a very big secret. You can have a giant, awesome military. You can have a very successful strike. You can defeat your enemies and cause them to bow before you. You can do all those things. All you have to do at the end, though, is say, it is you, God, who gave us that strength. It is you, God. We recognize that you gave us the wisdom, the physical ability, the technology, the time that we live in. You gave us our minds. You gave us our hands. You give us the strength. You gave us the rebirth of the Jewish people to land of Israel. And in the end, it's meant to honor you, God. It's meant to honor you, God. And here's another super chat from PC who writes, God bless Israel. Thank you very, very much. Be'ezrat Hashem, God bless Israel indeed. And we have to bless Israel. We have to bless and make Israel into a godly Israel. And we have to ingather as much as we can. We have to ingather our thoughts, ingather our prayers, ingather our bodies, connect to Israel, face Israel when we pray, face Jerusalem, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. And it is indeed happening.